Hello, Damon Stickford here. Tonight I am going to be field stripping, cleaning, and oiling the most popular rifle in America. I'm sure you've already guessed it, AR-15. Okay, my son-in-law has this AR-15 and it is manufactured by Ruger. The AR stands for Armalite Rifle, and this one is chambered in the 5.56 NATO round. Okay, that's just a hair bigger diameter than the 223 caliber. So therefore, you can, since this is a 5.56, you can put you can fire a 223 through this, but you can't do it vice versa. If this was chambered in a 223 caliber, you would not be able to put a 5.56 round in it and fire it. Okay. It is a NATO round, which means that it's specified by NATO. So, you know, you've got forces from different countries. It's all standardized in the round. So it was designed in around 1956 by Eugene Stoner with Armalite. And so the AR stands for Armalite Rifle Model 15. Okay. In 1959, Armalite sold the design to Colt because they weren't doing too well with it. They weren't selling it as well as they wanted, so they sold it to Colt. And then in '63, Colt got the contract from the military to produce these assault rifles in the designation M16. M simply standing for model 16. And of course, they came out with different rates of fire. You could do automatic, you could do semi-automatic, which is what this is. This is just a semi-automatic. So it'll fire as fast as you can pull the trigger. And then they also came out with the 3-round burst after they, tried it. They realized in Vietnam that they were wasting a lot of ammo. So they came out with that 3-round burst, and that worked out real well. After that, the company went on, Armalite went on producing guns. And in the 80s, they stopped producing guns. The factory ceased. And then in '96, a guy named by the name of Mark Westrom revived it. So it has an adjustable stock, so you can pull it out or in shorter if you like. This one has metal sights on it. My son-in-law is going to put on a scope on this and a light, and I'll have videos for those when he has me do it. Okay. So as usual, we want to make sure this gun is safe. I haven't done anything to it yet, so we want to make sure it's safe. If you can see, I'll get a little closer here. It has a push button right here. So when you push this, it releases the mag. And on the other side, if you look, when you push it, this pulls out. Okay, this is just allowing it to go around the magazine, and then the magazine has a notch right there that holds it in or releases it. All right, nothing in the mag. Okay, so we're gonna rack it. Nothing in the chamber. That's about the best I can do on that. Hopefully you can see in there, there's nothing in there. Okay, so about 3 seconds, I'll see you on the other side and we'll start tearing this thing down. All right, and we're back. Colt had the patent on this, and then in the '70s that patent ran out. So all different manufacturers started making these AR-15s. This one is from Ruger, made in the U.S. Something I wanted to point out to you, let's see here is your fire and safe. And this is your release, but I'm not gonna let it just go free. I'll slide it in. Okay, so fire. Okay, rack it again. You can put it on safe. You can't put it on safe until you've racked it. So once again, I'm gonna push the button and just bring it back easy. Okay. It has two takedown buttons, here and here. And this is how the top receiver and the bottom receiver release. The pins are connected to this, so they don't slide all the way out. Now sometimes you can use your fingers. Okay, looks like today maybe you can, but if you can't, then like I use these nylon because this is not my gun. And then on the back side, you can pull them, but these aren't. That one's out. See ya. That one's good. But this one just needs a little bit farther. Looks like I'm gonna have to actually tap this one a little bit. There we go. Like I said, this is a fairly new gun. After you've had it a few times and used those a few times, should loosen up to where you can just push them with your fingers. All right. So releases the lower and the upper. Okay. And let's go ahead and release the magazine. Set that aside there. And in the upper, you have your bolt and your bolt carrier. Okay, so to take those out, let's see if I can, okay, pull this out and they both come out. And then this is down in the two grooves there. So you can see there's these knobs that come out, and then there's grooves in there that they set into. So there's your striker arm. And what we want to make sure we get clean in here. Let me see if I can illuminate it. Hopefully you can see that. And that's where the bolt, okay, that's where it goes into locks. This turns as it goes forward and backwards, so it turns just enough to allow that to catch. And so the bolt is here in this section, on this part here that goes in and out, and then this is the carriage, bolt carriage. Okay. All right, so the next thing we want to do is take the bolt out of the bolt carriage. And so we've got a cotter pin right here. So it's made to where out in the field you can use a bullet and use the point of the bullet to pull this out. But I don't have bullets around my home gunsmithing area here. I just think it might be dangerous. So this pulls right out, and it's a cotter pin. And when we go to put it back in, I'll show you. Got to keep these squeezed in like this, or it'll give you a pain. And you don't want to strike this when you're putting it back in. Like once the gun gets, you know, kind of worn in, that'll slide in with your fingers, no problem. Okay, so we'll put that into the magnetic tray. Okay. And now that we've pulled that pin, the firing pin will drop out. Okay. So the pin goes across here and keeps the firing pin from coming back out. Okay. Now we have to remove the bolt from the bolt carrier. And this is the normal position right here, what I call portrait. Okay, it's going this way, and we just need to turn it horizontal like this, or landscape. I don't know if that's how you should say it or whatever, but and then this will come right out. I say right out, but sometimes it gives you a little trouble. That's what I get for having short nails. I can't grab under there. There we go. Okay. And that has a hole in it. Put that on the magnetic tray. I don't know if you can see, these things are great. They're little trays and they have a huge magnet on the bottom. So there's the other pin I was looking for. So it keeps all your little small parts from going on the floor and losing them. I got that one with a coupon at Harbor Freight for 63 cents. They're normally $2.99. All right, so we have our bolt carrier here. The arm, firing pin, the carriage bolt, and the pin. Okay, and I've got some cleaner in there, is what's in there. So let's start with the bolt carrier. You got, oh, I forgot to take the bolt out actually, so that comes out. And you got a hole here where this slides in, and it can only go in one direction. Okay, so if you put it in that way, turn it upside down, that it won't go in that way. So that's just the manufacturer's way to making sure that you put it in correctly. Okay, so the bolt and the bolt carrier. On the bolt carrier, you have the gas key right here, okay, and that connects, when it's inside, that connects to this aluminum tube down here, and then you have a gas block that connects into that gas block, and the gas block has a hole that's directly over a hole in the barrel. It's a small hole, so it captures some of the gas, which pushes the carrier and the bolt back. Okay, so the gas hits this, goes back, and it's got little vent holes also. Okay. All right. So this is considered field stripped. All right. And now we want to clean. Okay. For this lower, pull the trigger and I had that in the safe mode. Just pull the trigger, but don't let it go, catch it when it goes forward, okay? And then what I like to do, I use CLP. When I start cleaning up, put some CLP in here to let it start working, okay? And then just set that off to the side. On your bolt, it's important, right here we'll get carbon buildup right here. So I like to take the little brass barrel brush, which won't hurt the steel, and really get that cleaned good in there, okay? And then maybe take a paper or a patch, whatever you call it, Okay, and take a little cleaner and stick that through the hole. And that gets that nice, real nice. Or you could use regular cloth, might be better if you're going to put it on the end here, okay? And just a little drop, this is oil and cleaner. So just make sure that's, especially right here, this is going to get some friction. So then what I do is I wipe it off, but there's still a coating of oil on there, okay? Same thing with this, and what I like to use, see if I have the right one here. Nope, that one isn't. It's not the right one. Here it is, okay. Cleaning rod. Oh, that's not the right one either. But anyway, I'll just do it without the, put some cleaning fluid on here. This is Hoppy's 9. And the bigger end diameter down here. And get that cleaning solution in there. Yeah, so you don't even need a rod. Okay. Now, you can buy a barrel guide for your AR-15, but the AR-15 comes with a built-in barrel guide. Hopefully you can see this. If you look down there, the hole on the inside, that's a barrel guide. So if I put this back in, I can put my rods down the barrel and it's going to go perfectly in the center. So let's clean this up the rest of the way. This one should fit in the other end, and we'll get a little cleaning solution on it. Okay, and we can put that one in this end here. Get this one good. I don't use the CLP in here because you don't need oil in there. So, all right. Maybe you can see that guide hole better than this side. Maybe, hopefully. All right, so as before, let's just put a little bit on here. Okay. Get this cleaned up. And then once again, just wipe it off. Not you know, like you're trying to get it perfectly dry. Just get the excess off. Okay. And then you still have a little sheen of oil on there, which is good. Okay. And then on this one we'll get down in there. Clean that. And that's really about it on that one. Again, just get the excess off. We want a little bit of, you know, oil on there. Okay. And I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Got some Q-tips. Didn't prepare well there. I like to use this Q-tip and kind of get the excess from two things at one time. Okay, kind of scrub around in here in the parts that are difficult to get into, and then the second thing is it kind of takes up some of the oil, because you don't need a lot of oil in here, and you'll find that this area doesn't really get a lot of dirt stuff in here, carbon or buildup. So that, okay, and another one. As hopefully you can see, it's you know, really taking up some of the excess. Yeah, nice. Okay. All right. you see, some bad spots, you can take a pick and put a little paper, a little pad on it and get in there. But I think this is good on this. The other thing on the bottom receiver is your push spring and push, so you have to the little detent there, you got to push that down. Use the Allen pick, or punch, I mean. Push that down and then try to make sure it doesn't go flying out of the gun. All right. So just put a little cleaner on here. Not whoops, that was more than I wanted. All right. Slide this off, and then once again, wipe the excess off, and it'll still leave a little sheen of oil there. And then maybe just run it like this. You might say, well, this every time I clean this, it's never dirty. Well, that's fine, but you always want to inspect. So as you're just doing this little light clean, make sure there isn't something going on with it, and just push that over the detent, and we're all back in and good. Okay. All right. So now we want to clean the barrel chamber and the barrel. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little of this right down in the chamber and the barrel. Okay. And once again, I like to use the Q-tips in here and get in those ribs. Not the ribs you eat, but the ribs that match up with the bolt. Okay. So I take my Q-tip and get in there like that. And just wipe in here on this chamber here where the bolt ends up. And there's some gas in there usually. It leaves carbon. Okay. And now we have the snake. Okay. I'm sure you guys have seen these. These are so simple to use. This is what I like to use. And you buy these for your particular caliper. Technically, you could put a weight on a shoestring, a boot string, and do the same thing. It just has the metal piece down here, and then you can put some cleaner on here. I'm going to put cleaner because I did spray some of the CLP in there. So if there's too much oil, this will take it out. Okay. But you can do whatever you want. You have to be, some people don't like cleaner down the barrel. They think it's too harsh, but I never have a problem with it. So put this on an angle. We'll let gravity work. And put that down. As soon as you see the weight come down there. There it is. And you simply pull your snake through. Through the breech first, and it's as easy as that. I think that's the simplest way. So now we will run. We can put the racking arm back in, so you slide this in until it drops in. Right there. Now we're not putting the bolt in, but we're just putting the carrier in. Okay. Simply to have that guide hole in there. Okay. And what I want to do is, in case there's any metal from any of the ammo, I want to run a brush through. Okay. So get my guide rod out. got enough links on here? No, I don't. Put one more link on here, otherwise we'll come up short. That's not the right side. It's this one. Okay, now that's going to be long enough. And of course this is, you know, takes a little time. Just bear with me. Okay, and we want to put a metal brush on. Once or twice is plenty on this. Okay, you've got the cleaner, you soak the cleaner in your snake and brought it all down. This is just in case there's some metal. You gotta find that guide hole. Here we go. Get the guide hole. So then you don't want to bring the brush back that way. So you take this off. Slide this back up. And do it one more time. Okay. So we'll put it in the breech side, down through the guide, and out. All right, so I'm turning the rod instead of the. Okay. Now what we want to do is use one of these. This has a slot on the end of it. Okay. And I gotta take the big one. The big one right here. Make it really easier on yourself just buy a bunch of these and then have them ready. You know, one with the wire, one with the slot. Okay. Mine came in a plastic kit, so it has all these sections you got to, but you can buy one the full length if you want, which might not be a bad idea. But you just can't take it with you, like, you know, go to the field. So I take one of the bigger patches, put that through there. Don't pull it all the way out. And then put this down until it's clean, until it comes out clean, or however clean you want it. This we don't need the we don't really need the guide rail on this one. Okay, so take that back out, charging arm, and just put it down there. Okay. Is that too big? I guess it is. All right, that one's too big. Okay, so it's not, the step's not necessary, but I usually put it down there, and if I still have a lot of gunk, then I'll run the snake through it again. Okay. Okay, so we'll start the assembly in reverse. So we'll put the, this will only go in on one side, so it's a good idea to just start and see what side it is. Put that side in first, because manufacturer has made it to where you can only put it in the correct way. All right, so line your hole up there. Okay, go to the horizontal position, put that in, and then turn it 90 degrees like that. Okay, and we're good. Now we can put our pin firing pin back in. Okay. Make sure it seats all the way in like that. And do the cotter pin. What I like to do is use these to get it started. It squeezes the two little legs together and then put it into the hole. Push it. Sometimes it'll go perfect and hit the other side. Sometimes you may have to just get lucky with it. Squeeze this a little bit. There we go. Just wiggle it a little like that is probably the best. Okay, so those are back together. So we take our charging arm, and like I said before, it has these little bump outs here. So there's little grooves in there. Slide it in until it drops down like that. And then the carrier, bolt carrier and bolt. Slide in. Oh, my bad. I do that. The bolt has to be pulled all the way out. Okay, sorry about that. And then it should lock right in for you. Okay, then okay, so now we need to put these back together, upper and the lower. Try to find that alignment right there. I have to jiggle it a little bit. Go. Once that one goes in, then this one drops down into correct position. Of course, that's going to give me trouble today too. There we go. Okay. All right, so now we want to always check the function. Should fire. Oh, needs to be racked. So it's good actually to do this, get the oil going in there a little bit. Fire, same thing, back to safe, okay? And then your magazine. And that's the field strip clean oil, your AR-15, okay? Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. And I'll see you back here again on another gun. All right, bye-bye.